Come on, bro, today.
Bro, I didn't sign up to get recorded.
You're documented.
I don't care.
It's okay. Your face on.
This is the only part that I didn't like. Thought you would
Okay.
help.
So from the grocery bag, get it ready. Don't need to wash it. Do not wash. Wash is not needed yet. Okay, diagonal, long cuts. Don't make the pieces too small. When you get to the leaf, you can rip it like that. Repeat, diagonal. Not too small, because when we go mix it in on the next step, like that. Okay. Like that, like that, like that, and when you get to the piece, the leaves, just rip them. Not too small. See, like that, that's fine. This is the best part of the mustard green. Nothing goes to waste. You could actually use this whole piece. Just cut it like this. Right? Don't throw anything away. This is all good. See that? Slice it down the middle. This part. Slice it down here. Good to go. See that? Slice it down the middle here. Boom. It'll break apart eventually when we do the next step. Okay. So, see? Oh, this is good, right? Kind of like two. Okay. Cut right in half. So after we're done cutting everything up, see? It doesn't have to be small. Keep it big, because when you on next step. So now after we finish cutting, you put a little bit of salt, you sprinkle salt on top of it. Okay? That's good enough. Maybe a little bit there. Like that. And then the next step. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes. See how it's all moisty and all mush? Since this is a big batch, I'm gonna go like do this for another 20 minutes. We gotta get the juice out. The green juice has to come out of this thing, and this has to be more mush. So basically, like I said, this has not been washed. We'll do that in the rinse process. We're gonna rinse it 3 times after this. The only thing I put on here is salt. Salt helps keep this thing a little bit soft, get the process going a little bit quicker, pushes it down. Okay, so now this is about 25 minutes into this, and you guys notice it's look at the mass. It went down to like by half. Before, this whole thing was filled with the mass of the vegetable. Now it's all the way down. So this process, that's why this process, everybody skips it because they're freaking lazy. But you have to do this at least 20 to 30 minutes depending on the size of your thing. See how you smush this crap in? Yeah? Push it all in, get all that juice out. Then after this process, we're going to rinse it 3 times. That's why you don't need to clean this when you cut it. It's actually a pain in the butt when you try to cut the thing when it's wet. So that's why you don't clean the vegetable. You clean it later. Okay, so you smush it down. Another 5 minutes, and then we take it to the rinse. Okay, folks, so now this is the rinse process. So what you do is take that bowl with all these stuff that we just finished. You're gonna rinse. You're gonna do this 3 times. You're gonna drown this thing in water, completely in water. See all that juice? You don't need that stuff. That juice actually prevents the fermentation process from kicking in. It takes a bit longer if you don't get rid of that juice, and it sort of messes up with the taste. Okay, feel it. Okay, so you notice all the vegetable came out from the big pot and it's in this one now. So now we take it and bring it back here, rinse it in the water again. This is the second cycle until we get to the third cycle. At the third cycle, we'll continue. Okay, this is the last stage of the rinse process, the third stage. See how the water is very clear? So this water that tells you that it's clean real good. So then you just take this, throw it in there, and then we'll move to the next stage after this. Okay, so I'm using leftover rice, which is doable. You can use leftover rice. You could either use it as it is, but what I did was I actually I'm boiling the rice. So I took some rice from that pot, and I'm boiling it like soup, like making rice soup. So the only thing with this is it actually the fermentation process goes quicker. But the thing is, you need this rice to be boiled. You want to boil it for like maybe a good 20 minutes. But you can't put it into the vegetable until this thing cools off. So that's the only downfall. But it has a better quality. So you either use plain rice that's not cooked, or cooked rice, or you could boil the rice. So there's a lot of steps, like 3 options you could do here. Okay, people. At last, this is the last step. There's the rice soup. That's just rice and water. You don't add anything to that. And we have our salt here. And then we got the Asian cocaine here, or MSG, some call it. There's the mustard green. So now all we're going to do is add them. Okay. So we're going to sprinkle the salt just literally all over. You know, no exact science, guesstimate, you know, like that. Maybe a little more. Okay, that's the salt. Okay, so we want to make sure we put enough salt. So that should do it. So just coat it across the surface. There you go. Then we got the good stuff. Same thing. Coat it across the surface. Don't have to be that much. Okay. So then when you're done, it should be like that. Then you take the rice. Literally. You just dump the rice right over. Bro. Here comes the rice, okay? Take the rice, just pour over. Okay, we might need to add some more water, depends, but I think my wife is right. I might have got too much. So we're gonna take all that and fit it into that bottle. Right here. So we actually have to mix all that stuff in, all the ingredients, mix it into mix it together, and after we mix it, pretty much done. And then we just put it in the jar there. Okay, so as you can see, the rice and everything all mixed in. The rice is key. The rice is what initiates the fermentation process. So all the rice got mixed into the mustard green, and you could actually taste the juice just to see if you want to add more. You could go a little bit more salty than what you normally eat, because when it starts fermenting, the fermentation process, it's gonna dominate that salt taste anyway. So, but you want to go a little bit salty, because what happens once the fermentation process starts, if you don't put enough salt in it, it's gonna get sour quick. But well, then you would refrigerate it anyway. So now we're gonna put it into that big jar there. Hopefully it fits. Okay, folks. So there's that ginormous jar filled with Som-Puk, or the mustard green. Now, the juice in here, do not throw that juice away. That needs to be dumped into this jar. that juice there is key to the fermentation process. And I saved some of the boiled rice. I'm gonna put that on top of the jar. But like I said, you don't need to boil the rice. You could actually just use the raw rice with water and mix it in. But the boiled rice is actually better. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pour this water into the jar. Finished product. So you guys notice I put the remainder of the rice on top of here, on the top part. This way the juice from the rice goes down and helps with the fermentation process. And the other critical thing is to make sure you put a cover on this and you leave it outside for 2 days, 2 to 3 days. And after that, you could eat it. And then you want to make sure you refrigerate it, because if you leave it outside after 2 days, it's gonna get sour quick. I mean, like really sour. Alright, so now everybody knows how to make som-puk. Okay, there's one critical step that I forgot to tell you guys besides covering this. You gotta make sure the water level is up to the top, to the very top. You could even submerge it a little bit, but make sure you have enough water. If you don't have enough water, make sure you mix some water into your mixture here, so that you have enough water to go all the way up to the top of the bottle. Then you got to make sure you close it so that no air gets in, and then leave it out for 2 days, and then you're good to go. Then your som-puk will be ready to eat. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.